Nothing's hotter than Georgia asphalt. That's certainly true when the boys come to town. The best late model pilots are in one place for a 100-lap grudge match. Grab an RC Cola and a moon pie. Time to heat up the blacktop with the ASA Southeast Asphalt Tour. Next. Well, hello again, everyone. Welcome to Watermelon Capital Speedway. We're in Cordele, Georgia for the first ever television coverage of the brand new RC Cola Moon Pie ASA Southeast Asphalt Tour. I'm Rick Benjamin. In a few moments, Scott Sutherland will join me topside for the call of our event here today. This is a brand new series, a couple of different kinds of asphalt late models gathered together under one banner to compete for a lucrative championship at the end of the season. And some other new innovations in this brand new series. 100 laps of all green flag racing. That's what you'll see here today. If you have to go to pit road, your chances of winning, basically zero. Speaking of pit road, though, Mark Allen is there, and he's got our coverage.
Rick, John Key is the founder and president of the RC Cola Moon Pie ASA Southeast Asphalt Tour. And John, first question for you is, what prompted you to start this series?
The main reason for starting the series is to showcase drivers at this racing level. We have crew chiefs, we have drivers who aspire to move on to higher levels of racing. And a lot of the race fans across the country, even a lot of the competitors, are not aware of the quality of racing that's held at this level. And so the first and foremost thing was to be on television and showcase the product here and let people know what we're doing. The second thing is to provide good competitive racing so that the crew chiefs are challenged, the racers are challenged, and 100-lap racing is really tough. Setting the cars up so that they last 100 laps and then driving a race car that might not be just quite right. Of course, at higher levels of racing, they have the luxury of pit stops, and we don't have that here. So that was the purpose.
It's going to be a shootout, I think. Scott Sutherland, welcome to the broadcast. This is a fast little racetrack.
It's a great racetrack, and the race cars are what I'm used to seeing on the racetrack, and I love driving these type of cars. But ASA racing, that is what racing's all about.
Well, let's take a look at our track facts here at Cordele at Watermelon Capital Speedway. 4/10 of a mile.
Semi-banked, a D-shaped oval. The tricky part about this, there's no wall on the backstretch. You're going to be racing side by side. You might drop your right side tires off, and that will be a problem. Keep your eyes on that all night long.
Now, we had hard rain here on Saturday. This show being run on Sunday afternoon because of the rain out. Let's take a look at our weather situation here today.
Hey, 69 degrees, track temperature is 80 degrees. A little bit of rain in the area, but I think we can get this one in, and with really not much of a problem.
All right, let's take a look at our starting lineup here this afternoon at Watermelon Capital Speedway for the Cordele 100. Taylor Satterfield will have the pole. He's out of Commerce, Georgia. Michael Pope will line up alongside. He is from Dublin, Georgia in the 44. Jay Middleton out of Florida in that 74 car.
And on the outside of him, starting fourth is Bo Slocum. Jay Middleton was your fastest qualifier, the inverted top three.
Back to the third row, a couple of Floridians. Brandon Johnson, he's from Longwood. Chris Fontaine from Auburndale, Florida. He'll have one of our onboard cameras. Sean Bass will line up seventh, and there's the winner of the opener.
Yeah, impressive win going down to Mobile, Alabama, and wax the field.
Preston Peltier, very strong. Scotty Ellis, Jess Maddox will make up row number 5 here. Take a look at the next 5 rows in the starting lineup. Paul Kelly and David Elliott will make up the 6th row. Stephen McCurley in the 1 car. He's out of Texas, a young gun, former member of the All-American Driver Challenge.
Mullinex and Fleming, Adkins and Jason Hogan, and Jeremy Rice. A couple of guys I don't have a lot of experience, but they're deep in this field.
20th starter is a driver from Wimberley, Texas, Trey Mitchell. Here's the balance of your starting lineup. There's Kyle Fowler back at 22nd.
With his uncle is Mitch Fowler, I've worked with before, a lot of experience there as well.
Michael C. Wright lines up 24th, another driver with a lot of experience from Haines City, Florida. He may be a contender here today. Got a couple of different onboard looks for you. Preston Peltier out of North Carolina won the season opener at Mobile, Alabama. He'll take us for a ride in his Chevrolet. That is car number 5. Chris Fontaine, the Race Car Enterprises Port City machine, the 47F. He's one of the Florida drivers in the field, and he'll carry some looks for us here today. Michael Pope, the Builders Concrete 44 car. Now, he starts on the outside of the front row, and he's got one of our cameras on board.
Michael Pope, a very successful short track driver. We're going to be fun to watch him hustle that race car around the racetrack.
Out of Dublin, Georgia, fans on their feet here at Watermelon Capital Speedway in Cordele, Georgia, getting set for our first ever coverage of the ASA Southeast Asphalt Tour presented by RC Cola and Moon Pie. The Pontiac safety car is on pit road. Green flag is in the air. Glad to have you with us. We are underway at Cordele. Pope on the outside in that red 44 trying to grab the early lead out of turn 2.
And really, I think the outside should be a little bit of an advantage. You keep your momentum up. really putting up a good fight on the inside, though.
Taylor Satterfield in that black and green 40 car on the bottom. Top four really hooked up side by side. Good battle. Jay Middleton on the inside of the 74 car trying to get going. He was the fast qualifier, but he's stuck right there for the time being. Early leader, the 40 car, Taylor Satterfield out of Commerce, Georgia. Let's get on board the 47F. Chris Fontaine, that Race Car Enterprises machine.
Well, they're in no hurry to get single file. They're side by side racing all the way around this racetrack.
Now with that D on the backstretch, Scott, you mentioned you don't want to hang a right front off back there. We've seen a lot of hard wrecks here over the years in that kind of situation. It's got to give these young drivers something to think about.
Well, right now you're just racing. You're trying to get your car into rhythm. You see Taylor Satterfield into the lead. Strong move on that. Really working that inside groove good.
Bo Slocum in the 08 car down at the bottom. Side by side with Michael Pope for third. Leaders are battling up front meantime. Satterfield in the 40, Jay Middleton in the 74, the Redneck Pepper Machine. Mike Cope, veteran driver and crew chief, helping young Jay Middleton, who's a newlywed. Middleton grabs the top spot as they head toward turn 4.
Middleton was your fastest qualifier, so he's showing muscle pretty early here.
Out of Gainesville, Florida. Has a lot of wins under his belt. Caution on the speedway on lap number 5. First yellow of the day. Tangled down into turn number 1. Couple of cars are involved there. Trey Mitchell out of Wimberley, Texas in that black 47. The 05 car, Gene Carilla from Transfer, Pennsylvania. And Jason Hogan out of Cleveland, Georgia in the 92. That's a tough break for Hogan. He was expecting a good run here today.
Well, with experience and you come to these type of racetracks, you would expect a good run. He's going to have to make some repairs.
Our coverage today is being brought to you by RC Cola. Do your own taste test. Find out why RC Cola is a taste sensation. By Moon Pie, the original marshmallow sandwich. By the first ever Pontiac G8. Build your own at Pontiac.com/G8. And by Hedman Hustler Headers, the official exhaust headers of the ASA Southeast Asphalt Tour.
Remember how you felt about car as a kid? We do. Introducing the first ever Pontiac G8 GT, the most powerful car under 30 grand.